Alright guys, I hope you're amazing. I hope you've had tons of gigs. Been a little busy on my side. Lots of teaching, lots of rehearsals and sessions. I've got a couple recording sessions and some tours coming up. And a really big trip that I'm just been doing a lot of planning for. So, you know, today I'm talking more about like the things I'm working on some slow tempo stuff. I've got a group, a Tom Waits group, and everything is really dirty and slow. And then my group, I'm writing music again, called the Dickens Campaign, which is an Alan Lomax, like a Southern project. Slow tempos are really hard. They're really hard, they're really important, but they're really hard. Ballads, any of that stuff is really hard. Space. So I'm going to tell you one of the things I do to kind of think about it, especially working on here, something fun. Of course, there'll be a video montage of all the sessions and gigs and rehearsals I had. I actually do that more for me. It's fun to see what I've done in the 2 or 3 weeks since I've done this, so I don't get too down on myself. It's actually kind of funny. I will go 2 weeks and think I haven't done anything, and then I go back and look at this footage, and I was like, oh, I had 15 sessions, rehearsals, and gigs. Okay, I'm gonna be okay. Not a complete waste of time. We're gonna go to my favorite music store. I'll show you my favorite music store in the city. A little quick snippet. From now on, I'm going to try and get these out a little quicker and really talk about the things I'm interested in. A lot of product reviews coming up. Oh my God, I just can't get around to it. And this one is amazing, and it's a huge learning curve for me. Computers, Keith McMillan, stuff is amazing. Favorite record store in New York City. It's down near Chinatown, next to a Buddhist temple. Let's check this out. If it's weird and hard to find, they have it.
Those 2 CDs.
Oh, really? I'm working on these slow tempos for a couple of groups that I have. I have an Alan Lomax project called the Dickens Campaign, and we do some like dum, bum, boo, dum, and we wanted to keep that tempo and be as organic as possible. So I'll show you some ideas to practice that with tempo markings. Okay. So when we're playing some slow stuff, especially in a rock setting, you see this all the time where people go, so they've got to keep the beat. That's great. I don't necessarily want to do that, or I want to play like a busy right hand, but it's not going to speed up. So I've just got to know these tempos a little bit better. So the first thing that everybody does is we go, here's 71, to cat, to cat, here we go, So one of the things that happens is this beat is happening, it's happening on the beat. So when you're playing, and especially if you're doing like a big note, or my favorite, this is the vibe, this is what we got right here. this beat is so wide, there's no way you can hear that beat. Okay? First of all, I also think 70, if that's what you're playing, I think you should be playing 35. Or practicing. Practicing in a better way. If you're doing this live and you're going to do a click live, and especially if you're going to be in the 50 to 70 range, you're almost better off to build a loop. You just take so you've got some movement in between your notes so you know what's going on. Alright? Or you're just going to have like some super hit beats programmed already. Anyways, so let's put this down at 35, which is going to make us work a little harder. So this is what I've actually been working on a lot. And really slow tempos and doing my timetables of like 1 and 3s and 5s and 7s against everything. So 2 and but again, we're losing that. You can't hear it because I'm playing on top. There's nothing happening. So, easiest way, let's put this on a different beat. Let's put this on the and. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so that's actually going to work and be a little hipper, especially if you're going some ands and stuff. You're going to catch it with a higher pitch thing, which if you've got this on a wood block or something low pitch. And don't even get me started about studio and high pitched kick, kick, kick in your earphone that bleeds out everywhere, and then you go to mixing and mastering and you hear that shit. Not good. Okay, so that's what I've been working on. Really slow playing. If you check out my Instagram, I've been doing Will Coxon really slow, like painfully slow. Like I live on the 6th floor, I need to be living on the 20th floor so I can jump out of the window so slow. But it's good for me. And playing slow is good for you. It's just like, and especially if you want it to sound like really like down home, some South Georgia or some folk stuff. So that's what's going on. So another weird thing is when I put the beat on the and, I put it on the and of 2 and the end of 4. You notice the feel of it actually kind of changed a little bit. The way I played. That's another thing we should probably talk about. Where you put those beats on the metronome and how you think about it will actually change the way you play. I studied with this amazing drummer named Jeff Sipe. He's part Yoda, part space alien, and we would talk about beats and where they fall and how beats have very different characteristics. We could even give them like human qualities about how they act and how they make you feel. The end of 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You've had this whole measure and then the surprise of an and. So I would say that the end of 4 is like Kramer on Seinfeld, where he like slides in 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. We also have a tendency as musicians to kind of play and sometimes speed up 4 going into 1. And that's why I think like that beat has that tendency to be like a Kramer. You can actually really dictate how and where you lay back depending on where a metronome beat is. And it's funny how that happens. And it really is because all these beats, either 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, have very distinct feelings of how we play them, how we feel about them, and when they get emphasized, how we tend to feel them, if that makes sense. Whatever. these are just some ideas that I talk about and play around with when, you know, if I'm bored.